get this going, I'm going to just do a little bit of a check and make sure that we're actually live in the Facebook group, so that for those who wanted to watch on Facebook rather than be in the Zoom room can still see it too. I'm going to make sure my sound's down so you don't get feedback from that. I think we're live.
Yep, I can see you.
Yeah, live. Yes, fantastic. Awesome, done. So welcome everybody, we are live. If you are watching on Facebook, feel free to come and join us in the Zoom room. There are a couple of people still coming into the room, so we'll give them a few moments to continue coming in there. You'll be able to see everyone, not see everyone. Hello, Adriana, welcome. Welcome, Jan. Hey, while we're just welcoming everyone, can you let us know in the chat whereabouts you are coming in from today and a little bit about what you do? Priyanka's here, fantastic. Juliet, oh, everyone's coming in, fantastic. Tanya. So let us know in the chat what it is that you do. If you're watching on Facebook, let us know in the comments what it is that you do, where are you from? All that fun stuff. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Now you're all in my sight. Thank you so much for coming on Zoom today with me. Hey, Juliet, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just scrolling through to see everyone's beautiful faces. Tanya, Jan, Priyanka, how are you all doing? Wonderful. Did I get everyone? Adriana, yes. Welcome, welcome. I'm so pleased that you're all joining me live on Zoom today. And for those of you who are on Facebook and would like to come and join us in the Zoom room, you are more than welcome. You'll just have to head up to the pinned post. I hope I pinned it as an announcement where I put the Zoom link. Anyway, it's on there on the Facebook page somewhere if you haven't already found it. Got a message, somebody's coming in just in a moment, so that's all good. People are going to keep coming in, that's absolutely fine. So let us know in the chat where you're from, what it is you do. We've got lots of comments coming in. Oh gosh, my connection says it's unstable. Do you know what I'm going to do? Felicity, I'm going to tag you as a co-host. I'm going to put you in the deep end. Is that okay?
I thought it was me.
Oh, no, I've just apparently got unstable connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag somebody as a co-host. Felicity, do you mind being a co-host?
No worries, that's fine.
Awesome. Cool. Just in case. Hopefully you've got good connection. It should be fine. It should be fine. If for some reason that the connection drops out, I will restart the meeting. So just jump on into the Facebook group and we can all be there together. Yeah, cool. Okay, so everybody's jumping in. So we've got Sarah, Kylie's in Melbourne, a holistic healer, lovely. And Sarah is in Doreen, resin artist, love it, beautiful stuff. Felicity, leadership coach, working mainly in schools and young professionals in Northcote, very cool. Janice is a mother-daughter relationship coach. Lovely to have you here, Jan. Tanya in Melbourne in a car to get a COVID test. Oh no, Tanya, you poor thing. That is not a fun day. I'm sorry to hear that. And Adriana is Luna today. Hi, Luna. You're in Sydney, offer support to mums of newborns. And I'm cutting in and out a little bit. I know. Do I still keep freezing? No, I'm good now. Hopefully it's okay. Awesome. Nira is in WA, Exmouth at present. Normally you live in Dalesford. Yeah, fantastic. I help women build a business in the pockets of their time. Lovely. Did I miss someone? Priyanka, yes, chocolate lovers. I love that. Great description. I've had chocolate cravings lately. I need some more chocolates from you. Sharon is a psychotherapist in New Zealand. Welcome. Kieran here from Sydney. Welcome, Kieran. The joys of homeschooling. Yes. Kieran is a holistic healer and makes yummy products for healing. Lovely. Kim, welcome, Kim. Naturopath from the Mornington Peninsula. Lovely to see you here. And Juliet helps people with beautiful handmade cards. Lovely. So we've got such a mix here today. And I trust that you're all here because you're wanting to use more live video in your marketing. Is that right? Give me a hell yes. Sarah is a counsellor in regional Victoria. Wonderful. So keep popping them in, and it's great to get to know everybody. So today in part 1 of Go Live and Rise, we're going to create your 30-day live video strategy to help you really attract, connect with, and convert your dream clients or customers. So I trust that you're really excited about this. If you haven't already downloaded the workbook, ooh, can I do this? I was going to put it into the chat. Give me a second there and I'll see if I can pop it into the chat for those of you who don't yet have it. If that pauses, it's okay. I'll be back in just a second. Let me get the link for you for the workbook. Does everybody have that there in front of them, or do a few of you need it? You've got it there? Cool. Give me 2 seconds. I was prepared with this and then I shut down the wrong tab, so I'll pop that in a moment. So tell me in the chat, who is already using live video in their marketing? Who's already jumping in live? I know a few of you already are, which is fantastic, but I'd love to know, what kind of results are you getting at the moment? Are you finding that you're getting people joining your lives? Are they engaging? Are they commenting? What's happening in your live videos at the moment? It's a really good place to start. Oh, we've got some more people coming in. So let me know what your results are. And if you're watching on Facebook, let us know in the comments too, because I'll come back to those comments after the live class. Again, if you want to join us on Facebook, you're absolutely welcome to do that. You'll just find the link in one of the Facebook posts there on my page, on the Speak with Confidence page.
I put the workbook in, Kelly, if you're still looking for it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Love that. Okay. Give me 2 seconds while I get our screen back. There we are. Okay. Joanne does live, love them, people love them. Yes, Joanne, your lives are fantastic. So for those of you who don't know Joanne, Joanne has a pack saddling adventure travel company. And so she actually does live videos on her tours as well. So a fantastic way for people to be able to see the actual experience when it comes to what she does. And I think that's the power of live video is, we can actually show that experience, show how we can engage our clients and our audience. Sarah's only doing 1 or 2 here and there. Yep, so not much engagement. That's a really great point, Sarah. Having that consistency and committing to a specific time, that can often help your engagement, so people know when you're going to be going live and what you're sharing. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on as well. Juliet, not many watch your live yet, but they catch up later. Yeah, fantastic. So it might be about looking at different times, and we'll go into that a little bit in detail today too. Adriana, I don't think many join. Yep, 1 or 2 at the time, but views afterwards. You can never see the comments during the live. Okay, that's okay. There may not be any comments coming through just yet. You may not be prompting those comments just yet. Otherwise, yeah, there may be something wrong with the settings on your phone, because there is an option to turn those off. So we can go through that a little bit as well. Priyanka, not so much lives, but you show up on stories. Yes, you do. Love it. And a lot of great engagement. Yeah, fantastic. There's a few that unfollow as soon as you show up. That is interesting. They must not be your audience. Not many when I join when I'm live. I'm getting more engagement the more I do it. Yeah, fantastic. And that's, I think, a really great point. The more you show up, the more you do live videos, the more engagement that you're going to get. Fantastic. Nikki is joining us as well. I'm just admitting some more people. Your stories, Priyanka, always make me hungry as well. And Kim, not yet. So we've got a bit of a mix. We've got some who are already starting to do lives, some who aren't quite just yet, which is absolutely fine. And today I'm going to show you how you can incorporate live video in a way that's really strategic, so that you can make the most of your time. I think that's really important for us as very busy business owners. Hey, Nikki, yes, live. Much less reach than before. My words are not working today. Yeah, okay. And yeah, absolutely. There are going to be changes in the Facebook algorithm and the Instagram algorithm and all that kind of thing that we need to deal with. And so finding a way that we can push through that and still show up and create really engaging content. So let's get started. Danielle's just come in as well. Welcome, Danielle. All righty. So you're in the right place today. If you find yourself procrastinating on showing up live and often feel like it's too hard, who is that? If you go, oh yeah, I'll do a live today, and then be like, oh no, I'm going to chicken out and I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. And you keep procrastinating and putting it off. I know I've certainly been there. It's when you kind of set, yes, I'm going to do it on this day, and then something comes up, life gets in the way, and you think, actually, I'll do it tomorrow. You're in the right place here if you struggle to come up with ideas of what to actually talk about, or even if you feel like no one wants to hear what you've got to say. And I know this is a big thing for a lot of people. They're worried that no one actually wants to hear what it is that they've got to say, what content they've got to say. And so if that's you right now, you're in the right place. We're going to talk a little bit about that today as well. Also, if you want to use live video more effectively in your business so that you can grow and scale. And like I said, we want to make sure that we're making the most out of our time when it comes to doing live videos. So the more consistent that you can be and the easier you can make it for yourself, the more you're going to make videos. And that's the whole aim. And videos that work. I think that's the most important thing. We want to be doing content that is actually generating results and getting us more customers, more clients, all of that stuff. So today I'm going to share with you my 6-step formula. Look at that. So I've created a 6-step formula that is going to help you to attract, connect with, and convert your dream clients or customers so that you can understand the big picture. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole heap of detail around every one of these 6 steps, but I will give you an overview so you can understand that big picture. I'm getting that internet is unstable again. Oh God, I hope I'm not frozen. So we're going to go through that 6-step formula. And I'm also going to share with you 3 elements that can make a really successful marketing strategy so that you can build out any strategy with a whole heap of confidence. And not just video, other parts of your marketing strategy too. And then of course, we're going to design our 30-day live video strategy so that you can leave here with the motivation and the energy to actually show up and execute that strategy. So it's not necessarily just about having a strategy. You can have as many strategies as you want, but if you're not executing those strategies, then you're not going to get the results. So today is about creating that strategy, and then it is up to you, over to you to go ahead and to execute that strategy. Alrighty, so here we go. Oh, actually, before we go on, I wanted to let you know, this is why I love having slides, because it prompts me, I don't forget things. So there is a training completion bonus. So anyone who's on here on Zoom today, or even watching on the Facebook live stream, I know that some people didn't want to be on Zoom and just wanted to watch on Facebook, which is totally fine. But if you complete part 1 of the training, you will be in the draw to be a hot seat contestant. Look out, it's kind of like a game show, to be a hot seat on the Go Live and Rise training part 2 series, which is happening same time next Wednesday. And what that means is they'll, whoever applies, I'm going to pick 3 names out of a hat. And for those 3 people, you'll be able to join me live and be coached through how to improve your specific videos. So really, really valuable to be one of those hot seat contestants. So stick around to the end. I'm actually, you know what I've done? I've created a little code. So if you send me the code at the end of the training, then I'll send you an application form to be one of those hot seat contestants. So it's going to be a bit of fun there. Better open the chat because I can see people. Yes, awesome. It is a cool opportunity. Alrighty. So before we keep going any further, I just want to let you know a little bit about me, because I know that there are some people on this call who don't know me yet. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly, and I'm a public speaking coach and a voiceover artist. And I also, what I really love doing is helping women to become really confident on camera. It's my absolute passion, because I tell you what, back in the day, I used to be so super shy, like incredibly shy, to the point where I couldn't even share my opinion in a really small group of my friends. I was that shy. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but being in that place feels really uncomfortable. And especially if you're running a business and you feel like you can't show up or show your face or share your message, then I know that that's holding you back, because it was holding me back. And so I've been on this journey myself personally. I've studied acting at university and learned that outer confidence and how to project my voice and all that kind of stuff, how to build that presence, I suppose, on stage and on camera. But I found still that something was missing. You know, I could show up and be a character. I could show up on stage and have fun as a character. But then when it came to me being me on stage or showing up, I was still really hesitant. And so it wasn't until I studied coaching and human behavior and learned a whole lot about myself and went down my own personal development journey that I really found that inner confidence. And so now in the programs that I run, I actually blend the two skills, both the acting and the personal development, because I think it's such a beautiful combination. I also, my partner and my son there in the middle, Harley and Chris, we own a boutique hotel up here in Yea, in the lovely town of Yea, country Victoria. I'm actually sitting in one of the suites at the moment, the Peppercorn Suite. And yeah, we're closed at the moment. It's been through lockdown and just been able to open up as of yesterday. So very exciting. Yeah, I can't wait for you to come back too, Sarah. If you're in Melbourne and you can come out to regional Victoria, when you can come out to regional Victoria soon, come and visit us. I also used to be a tour guide, so I love a bit of an adventure, and I like to bring that fun and games and play into the courses and the programs that I do. So hence the crazy photo of me hiking there. So let's get into the content. It's not all about me, it's about you today. Let's get this going. All right, so I want to just really reiterate why video is the way to fast track your business growth right now. So, oh God, internet unstable again. This is not happening. And I love this quote. This is a quote that I found on a website called Biteable.com. If there was one winner in 2020, it was probably video. I mean, come on, we all know that, right? With everyone online all the time right now, video became more crucial than ever for marketing and communication. And I know that you're seeing it everywhere. You're seeing it everywhere on Facebook, on Instagram, on all of the different platforms. Video is such a powerful way to be able to share your message and build relationships, build genuine connections without you necessarily having to meet the person in person. Also, 68% of marketers say video has a better return on investment than Google Ads. Now, I don't know if you have experimented with Google Ads or if you're using Google Ads at the moment, but Google Ads have a pretty good reputation. And so for video to be ranked higher in return on investment than video is pretty powerful. It's also a stat from Biteable. Also, 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service by way of video than any other form, and that is from HubSpot. So lots of reasons to be showing up on video, but I believe truly 100% the best reason and the biggest reason that you should be showing up on video is for the person that you need to become to show up for your audience. Because I tell you what, the personal development that goes into being able to be seen and showing your authentic self on video is well worth it, well beyond the results that it will bring to your business. And this is all about, you know, the Be, Do, Have model. And if you've been in the personal development space at all, you will have probably seen this model. And essentially, rather than just doing the things that we know we should be doing, it's who do we need to be first? Who do we need to be to show up really authentically and genuinely online on camera? And I tell you what, the person you need to become to show up consistently for your audience is an incredible person. And I cannot wait for you all to meet that person. And I know that some of you who have done some of my programs have been seeing those results and seeing the change for you personally as well, not necessarily just for your business, but it's that ripple effect of how it improves other areas of your life, how you're able to speak up in areas of your life that maybe before you didn't. And I've had lots of beautiful stories from clients about the different effects that doing this work has had for them. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely invaluable. It's so true. Awesome. Alrighty. So a few things to keep in mind. Time to get out of your own way. Time to get out of your own way. Perfection is the enemy here. Perfection is absolutely the enemy. Go Live and Rise isn't just about creating your strategy. It's about taking action. And this is one of the reasons I've designed this program as a 2-part training series, because in the middle of part 1 and part 2, there's some action to be done. And I'm going to share with you at the end of the class what I would suggest and how you can start showing up just to practice in our Facebook group so that you can get the most out of this training, because just having a strategy, like I said before, is not enough. It's not enough to just have, this is what I'm going to do. It's actually taking action and going, yep, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to actually do it, following through on that commitment. So it doesn't just end here after the class. There is a continuation. That's why I've got the 2 parts of this training, and there is some action in between as well in the Facebook group. So lots to get excited about, lots to get involved with. So here are my 6 steps to convert on camera. Let's dive straight in. Step 1, this is just a bit of an overview. Get your head in the game. We want to really understand where our mind is at when it comes to getting on camera. Step 2, who do you serve? Knowing and understanding who specifically you serve and why that's important to you as well. Step 3, crafting your customer journey. So it's not necessarily just about showing up on video. This is the big picture. This is a big picture, and there are so many different moving parts within marketing and within running a business. So how does your customer journey map out? We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Step 4, developing your overarching strategy. So understanding every single cog and how you can incorporate video into each part of your overarching strategy. And step 5 is about building those genuine connections, building those connections in a way, just like we are right now. We are being able to connect live on video without having to be in the same room. And I think that is really powerful in itself, being able to build those connections. And you can do this too. Everything I'm doing right now, you can absolutely do within your own business, no matter if you have a product or a service. And then step 6 is to convert those clients or customers so that you can deliver epic results and give your potential customers or clients the solutions that they are craving, the solutions that they want. Okay, so step 1, let's go a little bit deeper, and I encourage you to ask any questions into the chat as we go along. If you do have any specific questions about any of these steps as we go through, please pop them into the chat. So the first thing is about getting clear on your higher purpose. So really understanding why specifically you are doing video. Why does this actually matter to you? What is it that's so important that you are willing to put your own fears of judgment, of criticism, of, oh my God, what are other people going to think of me if I show up live on video? What is that higher purpose that is so strong that is going to help you to step out beyond that, and to help you step out and show up without being held back by those fears? Because we all have fears. We all have fears around showing up on camera, no matter how long you've been doing it. Even now, every time I go live, I'm like, oh. And you know what? There may not become a point. I don't know. I could be wrong. In 5 years' time, I might be like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm just going live. But for a lot of people, there's still going to be that, oh gosh, that little bit of that feeling. Now, I run a public speaking program in schools, and one of the classes in that program is identifying the differences between the feelings or the symptoms of nervousness and excitement. And if you really think about the physical symptoms of nervousness and excitement, they're actually really, really similar. So thinking about, you know, the butterflies in your tummy, thinking about, oh, you might get a bit shaky, you might get sweaty palms, things like that. They're actually really similar. And so what if, putting it out there, what if you could choose instead of, oh God, that's that feeling of nervousness. What if you could change that and say, hey, maybe it's excitement. Maybe I'm just really excited about this and I'm really passionate. And that's what those feelings are, or those symptoms are. Mindset is absolutely so powerful. Yeah, I love that. It's a really slight distinction, but it's so powerful if you choose to adopt that. And so every time now that you go live, I want you to think, if you're getting those feelings, oh, what if that's excitement? I'm so excited about this. And I, you know, one of the examples I use in this class is skydiving. Has anyone here been skydiving? Okay, if you ever get the chance to go skydiving, you might have the same experience, right? Where you're so nervous and you feel like, oh my God, am I actually going to jump out of a plane? And then as the plane is taking off, you can either kind of go one of two ways, right? You can go, oh God, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. Oh my God, this feels really, oh, I just don't think I can do this, and freak yourself out. And you're looking at the plane and you're going, no, I can't do this. And either like you refuse to jump or you have a really bad experience. Or if you're like revving yourself up, you're going, oh my God, this is so exciting. I can't wait to do this. This is amazing. And then you jump and you have a great time. Yeah, so it's like choosing that excitement and how your mind plays out on that and how you can actually rev yourself up and get really excited about something. So it's really a choice. Just looking at the chat here. If you're not nervous, you don't care about what you're projecting. I love that idea. I love that, Juliet. Yeah. And you know, we could use that as well. You know, if you're not having those feelings, you know, maybe it is nerves, maybe it's excitement. Either way, that's okay. But that means that you care. I think that's really cool. Yeah, great reframing. Scuba, yes. Skydive, never, but you want to try. I love that. Oh, I'm just admitting somebody else into the room. Wonderful. And just a note, if you are watching live on Facebook at the moment and you want to join us live in the Zoom room, you can absolutely do that. The link is there in the Facebook group for you too. Fantastic. So really get clear on that higher purpose so that you can move through any of those fears or those feelings of nervousness. Also, knowing what truly matters to you. So knowing your values, understanding what's important in this. Why is this so important? And then absolutely identifying the outcome. What do you actually want to achieve in this? And now if you've got the workbook there, which thank you to Felicity, posted the link in the chat, you should all have that there. And if you're following along in that workbook, oh, thanks, you're amazing. If you're following along there, you can start writing down some notes, identify the outcomes that you're really wanting to achieve when it comes to using video in your marketing. And then of course, to make that commitment to follow through. So in the beginning, you might find you're not getting a lot of engagement. You may find that, and for a while, it might be that you're not getting a lot of engagement because there are so many factors to sharing your message live on video. And so it's making that commitment to continue, even though you might not see the results immediately. This is a long-term strategy. This is a long-term strategy, but I tell you what, once you actually start seeing results, you'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. So make that commitment to follow through. Alrighty. Any questions that you've got as we go, please pop them into the comments, or anything that you're noticing, anything that you're like, oh, that's a really great idea. I never thought about that. Pop it into the comments. Step 2 is knowing who you serve. And this class is not about identifying your target market. There are so many great trainings about that out there. Catherine in Choose Your Socials has some fantastic training on that. So highly recommend that you do the work on this and understand who you serve in detail, like the minutest details. And what I say is that you know your audience better than they know themselves. And if you can language their problems better than they can, that is really, really powerful, really powerful. And it's also about identifying the solutions that they actually want, but also knowing what they need as well. and finding that balance between the solutions that they want and what they need, and bringing that all together. So knowing who you serve, that is part 2. And I trust that if you're on this class, you've probably already done a little bit of work on that, and you kind of know a little bit about who you serve. You know, maybe if you haven't done a lot of work on that yet, that's a good place to start. Crafting your customer journey. Step 3 is, where do your customers first meet you? And mapping out this customer journey is, where specifically do they first meet you? How do they first get to know you? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Facebook? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it at a networking event? Knowing where that first touch point is, and then what happens next. What happens in every part of their customer journey? And how can you start incorporating video into as many parts of that as possible? Thinking about your email marketing. If you're growing an email list, how can you incorporate and create value using video with your email list? How can you start drip feeding and building that relationship in a way that's really scalable through video for each element of your customer journey? I love that I'm seeing people writing notes here. It's great. Makes me feel so good. Step 4 is developing your overarching strategy. So where do all the moving parts come into play? So getting really clear on, do you have a 5-year plan? Where do you want your business to be in the next 5 years? And yes, this is possibly going to change over time. It's potentially in 12 months' time, you might think, oh gosh, I'll look back at my 5-year plan and go, hey, I've actually achieved that. I've already got that. Or no, I don't want that anymore. Oh God. So having a plan, but knowing that it can be flexible. And when you have this plan, it's so much easier to develop your detailed strategy. You're loving these tips. I'm so pleased. Good, Joanne. So how does each phase of that customer journey that you've done in step 3 play out? What are all those platforms and automations or systems, and how do they work together to create this overarching strategy? And now I trust that you realize I can't do everything in an hour. I can't go into all the details on every platform and automation and all of that in an hour or 2 even. So this is literally a brief overview, but just to give you the idea and to help you to see that bigger picture, I think is really important before we actually get into the nitty-gritty stuff. So essentially what we're doing today is, where's my little blue dot? Oh, hold on, tech challenge. There's my little blue dot. This is the part we're doing today, is the 30 days. And so this is just a small element of the whole strategy. But I think and the reason I've chosen to share with you this 30-day strategy is because I know it's a short enough time frame for you to actually be able to implement and to start seeing some results, even if that is simply within you. That's one of the best things. So step 5 is building genuine connections. And I'm going to sort of start racing through these because I know time's running up. So building genuine connections is crafting your unique story and knowing your customer's story, knowing that customers are mapping out that customer's hero journey, and how you can place yourself in that story as their guide. How can you guide them through that hero's journey? And the next part is your energy as a seller, a match for your buyer. Now, this is a really big concept, but I'm not going to go into detail about this today, but it's something to be aware of, is your energy as a seller. And I don't necessarily mean rah, 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 that kind of energy, but it isn't a match. So Felicity, I'll use you as an example because I can see you there. It's, your target market is schools. And so is your energy as a facilitator a match for the school? And how can you blend that in? I think it's really powerful. It is a good point. Yes, thanks, Danielle. And then the last part of that is understanding your character from a marketing perspective and how you're positioning yourself from that marketing perspective, and what kind of content that you choose to share with your audience or your community, and how you bring them along on that journey with you. I trust this isn't making sense. If you can just put in the chat that it's like either landing for you or you're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm so confused right now. Pop something in the chat. Let me know that it's, you know, you're getting it and you're going, yes, definitely landing. Great. If it's not, please like ask questions. Totally making sense, makes sense, super helpful. Great. I'm glad that's helpful. Great. Awesome. Okay, fantastic. That is enough for me to continue on to step 6. So step 6 is, yeah, knowing your ICA makes it all so much easier to absolutely, yeah, absolutely. The more that you can understand your target market, the easier the rest of this is going to be. Okay, so converting your customers or clients so that you can actually deliver those epic results. So if you genuinely believe that you can help your clients or that you can give them something that makes them feel amazing, that you can give them what they want, but also what they need. That's really powerful. And I truly believe that you should make it your mission to sell to them. And I know, you know, there might be things that come up around sales and, oh gosh, can I ask for money, or, you know, all of those things. And that's okay. In fact, it's really normal. It's really normal, especially if you're sort of in the beginning stages of business. You know, that, and I think this is really powerful, is that the transformation is in fact in the transaction. So whilst I know that, you know, this is a free class and you will still get some kind of result from this free class, the people that actually go on to be clients and work with me in programs and things like that, they're going to have the biggest transformations, because the transformation is actually in the transaction. And I just love that that's like alliteration and everything. Joanne, my passion makes people want to come. Yes, absolutely. So that comes back to the energy. Yeah, your energy is such a match for your audience. Danielle, love working your programs. Oh yeah, one-on-one. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So it really is about how you can convert your clients so that you can deliver those results, so that you can help them. And this is one of the things that I personally love to be able to do, is to deliver and show that you can deliver at least 10 times more value than what they actually pay. And you know, one mentor that I can't even remember the name of this person because it was so long ago, said that sometimes you should feel like your clients are ripping you off. And if you feel like your clients are ripping you off because of how much value that you're giving, then it should be really easy to convert clients, because you are delivering so much value. And that is not to take away from valuing your worth either. So it's this beautiful dance between knowing what you are worth, but also delivering to your clients above and beyond their expectations. So I'm not saying don't value what you do, absolutely value what you do, but how can you provide value that doesn't necessarily, maybe it doesn't necessarily take your time. There are so many different ways that you can create value and give value to your clients or customers. So an example of that for products, Juliet, I think you're a great example of how you can deliver more value, is showing, you know, giving them the tools and the tips to be able to create their own cards. That's not going to take away from the fact that most people, maybe they'll want to do that for a day, but over the long run, they're still going to want to buy your cards because they don't want to have to make them themselves all the time. But knowing how to do it is really valuable. So it's a great example of how you can deliver so much more value than simply your product. Cool, making sense? Alrighty, so just as a recap, we're going to get our head in the game, knowing who we serve, crafting your customer journey, developing your overarching strategy, building genuine connections, and converting so that you can deliver those epic results. So these 6 steps are a part of this new program that I've created and developing. I'm not selling anything today. This is not necessarily about a pitch today. I'm not even opening the cart until next week, but this is where this 6 steps is coming from. So next part is the 3 elements of a successful strategy. And I want you to, you know, write these down, because these 3 things, If you have these three things as part of any strategy, you will succeed. The first thing is to begin with the end in mind. Know what it is that you're actually shooting for. You know, what result specifically do you want? Start with the end in mind. And I think sometimes when we plan, when we are putting together a strategy, sometimes we forget this, even though it seems so simple. But knowing specifically what you want to achieve, and when it comes to video, that could be a number of things. It could be engagement, it could be brand awareness, it could be relationship building, it could be sales. There are so many different elements to what that end result is, depending on which phase you are within your plan and within your overarching strategy. The second thing is model what works. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Looking at your own industries, you will start to notice what is working and what is not working. And when you see something that is working really well, how can you incorporate that into your strategy? Model what works. And I'm going to share with you what's working for me right now today in my 30-day strategy so that you can model that if you choose to. And number 3 is commit to completion. And again, it comes back to this commitment. It's like, if you commit, like you're 100% in. How are you going to make this work? Yes, there will be days where you stuff it up. Yes, some videos will flop and not work and not have any viewers or no comments or anything like that. Absolutely. But if you commit and make that commitment, then you will see those results. 100% works. It does. It does. So let's dive in, because I know it's like getting to the pointy end of the class. Your 30-day video marketing strategy. Let's dive in. So if you haven't already opened that workbook, open that up now. And even if you've got it on your laptop, you can grab a notepad and you can start mapping this out just on a notepad, and then you can print that off later. I have in the workbook, I've created that section, the actual plan, the plan of the video marketing strategy, as black and white, so that you can just print off that slide. Even if you just print off that slide, you can print off 4, 8, so that you've got, however many 4 weeks that you want to plan out. Cool. So the first thing that it comes to with your, this comes back to step 1, know your outcome. So thinking about now, when it comes to your 30-day strategy, what phase are you currently in your business? And you can type it in the chat if you like. Are you in a brand awareness phase? Are you in a nurturing phase? Are you launching a product or service? Are you in a conversion phase? Do you not yet have phases? Are you kind of like, I'm not sure, I'm just selling all the time? And that's okay too. So what is the outcome for the next 30 days? Not yet. Kim is about to be in launch phase. I know that, Kim. Always new packages. Okay. Yeah, cool. Nikki's in launching phase. Danielle, nurturing, leading to sales, figuring it out. Love it. Launch, nurturing, conversion, scaling. Sarah, yes. Love it. We're relaunching a program that we piloted this year. Fantastic. Okay, so we're all kind of in separate phases, and this is why I wanted to run this class, is because I want you to be able to customize this plan for your business. So on your piece of paper, writing down, what is that outcome? Is it the brand awareness? Is it nurturing? And this is some of the work that you could do if you choose, mapping out that overarching strategy for the next 12 months. When are you going to be launching products? Or when are you going to be launching a new service? Because if you have that mapped out in your calendar, it is going to make it so much easier for you to know what kind of content you need to be sharing and when you need to be sharing that content. Sharon, restarting your business in a new country. How fantastic. Cool. So yeah, that might be that brand awareness phase for you. Not sure yet, possibly nurturing phase, just trying to get more clients. Yeah, okay. So Jan, I think Nurturing phase, meaning please. Yeah, so nurturing phase really means that you've got some clients, that you've got some leads coming in and you're nurturing those leads. So maybe they've signed up for a specific opt-in that you offer, so like a free gift or something like that. So for example, let's use what we know, this class right now, part 1, this is like a free offer. So for the people that have signed up and joined for this class, that they've said, yes, I want that, I want in on that. And so after this class and after these 2 weeks, then I will move to a nurturing phase. For people that decided that the program that I will talk about, you know, over the next couple of weeks is not for them, that's fine. That's absolutely fine if they're not in the right space for that. But if they're not, I still want to continue to nurture those people, because they may, for the next program that I launch, they may be a match, or that it might be the right time for them. So I don't necessarily want to discount people that, you know, have said, oh yeah, I want to do the free training, but then not potentially buy a program that I offer at the time. I want to continue to nurture that relationship. Does that make sense, Mira? Just let me know. Kylie says, brand awareness. I've gone through a rebrand and I've restructured my business and been scared to relaunch. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're in the relaunch phase, or that building that brand awareness. Fantastic. So knowing what that outcome is going to guide some of the content that you share during the next 30 days. So I trust that you've written down a couple of ideas. And if you're not super clear on that, you know, again, happy to chat about where you might be in that journey. Like I said, there is just so much, and I know that you can see that, and I know, you know, I can't cover everything today, but if you do need a little bit more guidance on that, I'm happy to chat. Absolutely makes sense. Great, fantastic. So really knowing that outcome, what are you shooting for in the next 30 days? Now, the next part is about brainstorming those content ideas. Ooh. That's weird. My slide's going to be funny. Okay, ignore the slide. I'm just going to talk about this. So brainstorming your content ideas, it could look like knowing, you know, coming back to that ideal client is, what are their specific problems? What, you know, and how can you create content based around the fact that you understand their problem? Showing that you understand. Maybe it's through stories. Maybe it's through using a particular client story and how a particular client moved past their challenges and struggles. Maybe it's looking around at whatever else is going on in your industry. What are other people doing? What are other people talking about? What are the topics of conversation in your industries? And what is working? What types of content in your industry is working right now? So I just want you to really brainstorm. And again, you know, after this class, I'd highly recommend coming back to the workbook and really working through these questions. Figuring out, well, okay, people in my industry are talking about this. What is my spin on that? Or, and this is one of the things that I love doing, is looking outside your own industry and looking at general content ideas that are working in other industries, and how can you adapt or, you know, disrupt your market by using an idea from another industry. So does anybody, where do you look for these? Great question, Danielle. So I would look for you, for example, Danielle, looking on Instagram or Facebook, researching, looking at you know, complementary industries. So for example, Danielle is in coaching, lifestyle coaching. So you might be looking at industries like, you know, health and wellness or personal training, or sort of industries that are complementary to you, but are not specifically what you offer. Does that make sense? So looking for different accounts, like social media accounts that are creating content. Or you can also go on YouTube and search. YouTube is a great resource to be able to search for different content ideas. Adriana's in brand awareness stage. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So do you want to pop into the chat? Pop into the chat. What are some of your ideas? Because this is going to help everybody else in the class as well. What are some of your content ideas that you've come up with so far that you can be sharing? And again, this is the other thing. Often the content that we forget to share is the basics that we think, oh God, that's way too easy, or that's way too simple. That concept is something that, you know, but that's what people want to hear. It's the really, really basic, simple things that we can share that we think are so crazy simple. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Canva. Who uses Canva here? The program Canva. Yeah, lots of people are using Canva. I've been using Canva for, you know, a long time, it feels like. I don't know when Canva was created or when I started using it, but for a long time. But a basic Canva tutorial is a piece of content that I could share. Even though I think it's so easy because I've been using it for so long, but a lot of my ideal clients have never used it before. And so being able to share that piece of content, even though for me, that's, you know, I could do it with my eyes closed nearly. It's something that is going to be valuable to my audience. Okay, what ideas have we got going? Ideas for dealing with our new reality in lockdown. Yep, fantastic. How to engage students in, how to engage students in leadership opportunities while they're not physically at school. Yeah, fantastic. Self-love, mindfulness, boundaries, confidence, self-worth, being seen and heard, deeper connection to self-spirit. Yep, beautiful. Nira, what you're grateful for? Absolutely, yeah. Kim, teaching people what to eat and solve food confusion. Great. So Kim, you've got so much scope there to be able to, you know, for you, Kim, it might be picking something off a shelf at a supermarket and talking through this particular product and, you know, why you should or shouldn't be purchasing that product. That's just one small little content idea that for your audience will be really, really valuable. Or teaching, you know what to look out for on a label. It doesn't have to be long, but that's super valuable. Juliet, I use hashtags in my group. So I follow a formula each day about what type of post you're sharing each day. Fantastic. Yes. That is another great way that you can actually see what other content is being created by other accounts, is using hashtags and researching those hashtags. Small tips about baking are always very popular. Yeah, Priyanka, I saw you did a story the other day about your recipe, your brownie recipe. I love that because that was really cool for me to watch. But I'm never going to make brownies. Like, I'm just not a cook, right? I will buy your brownies any day as opposed to making them myself. But for some people, you know, it's cool to watch that. It's really cool content. So I trust that's making sense. Now I want to show you how you can implement what your content ideas are. Oh, before we do that, I want you to figure out how much time you can commit to showing up on video each week. Think about your weekly schedule. If you've got kids, if you've got, you know, business stuff going on, if you've got clients, all of that kind of thing. How much time can you commit to showing up on video? Because if you can only show up once a week on video, you shouldn't schedule 3 videos in a week, because you're just going to start feeling bad about the fact that you're not showing up. So if you can show up once, that's great. That's fantastic. Kylie says, I've got so many different aspects in my biz. I have trouble working out how to deliver to keep it simple. Yeah. So I would choose 5 to 7 things, create 5 to 7 topics that you can continuously share about. And if you are repeating yourself, if you feel like you're repeating yourself on video, that is a really good thing. It's a good thing, because your audience will get used to you sharing about similar topics. And, you know, it's not necessarily that everybody is going to see every single one of your videos. So if you're talking about a similar thing in 2 different videos, you know, a couple of weeks apart, that is fine. In fact, that's a really good thing. Priyanka started doing behind the scenes Monday thing. Awesome. Yeah, that's getting good traction. Again, if you can create themes around a specific day of the week and people know that you're going to be showing up on a specific day, that's really, really powerful. And that's a way that you're going to start to see those engagement results. Jan, I need to set up my phone in an area to do videos so it can put you off doing, yeah. You don't want to have to think about setting it up beforehand. If you've got a dedicated space that you're going to continuously show up on video, that's fantastic. It's a really great strategy to use. Also thinking about what platforms or styles of video that you're going to choose. Are you going to be just showing up live? Is it Facebook Lives? Is it Instagram Lives? Is it on LinkedIn? How or what platforms are you going to be showing up? Getting really clear on that. Is it Reels? Reels are huge at the moment. And if you can give that a go, if you've got the time and the capacity to do that, I highly recommend it. Is it TikTok or YouTube? What is Reels? Kim, great. If you're not on Instagram, Kim, you won't know what Reels is. Reels is a feature of Instagram, and where it is literally sharing 15 to 30 seconds of content, and you can use lots of features like music or transitions, lots of, it's a bit of fun. It's kind of a little bit like TikTok. So it's exactly like TikTok. They basically fell on the whole idea. But that's what it is. And it is a really great way to grow your Instagram account. But if you're not on Instagram, and if your audience is not on Instagram, and this is why it's key to know who your audience is and where they're hanging out, then don't do Reels, like don't do Instagram. Focus on that one thing. Okay, so I want to give you, can you do a practice run before going live on Reels? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, you don't have to post them. You can create them and not post them. Okay, so here is my example of a week within your 30-day strategy. So if you can, this is for somebody who can only do or commit to doing one video in a week. And this is what I do. So I will go live, generally on a Tuesday, sometimes on a Wednesday. I'll do a live in my Facebook group. And the reason I do a live in the Facebook group is that typically, because that's my warm audience, they're going to be more inclined to watch or to see it, even if they don't come on live. Now, generally, I will make this video a longer form video where it's more content heavy, where it's teaching something, where it's sharing a tip or something that's really valuable to my audience. So it might be a 5 to 10 minute video, right? So that happens early in the week. And then, because you can download that video, that live video, down onto your laptop, what I will then do is edit that down into smaller chunks. And then throughout the week, I will distribute that into these different areas on social media. So it may be I'll post to Instagram the following day, and then I'll do a story about the video and link it, because in Instagram stories, even if you don't have 10,000 followers, you can still link to an IGTV episode. So you're getting kind of double the exposure there through stories and through that IGTV channel as well. At the moment, IGTV, the reach is a lot lower than Reels, for example. But often what I find is the people that watch my IGTV, even though the views are lower, they're more qualified because they actually want to watch the content. And that's really powerful. So even if you've only got, say, 20 views on a video, if you imagine 20 people in a room with you, that's a fair amount of eyeballs. So, you know, if you are just getting a small amount of views, that is okay, because it will grow if you commit. Then, you know, posting to LinkedIn or YouTube on another day and really distributing that content on different channels. If you're using those platforms, if you're not, that's totally fine. It might be that you cut up that one live video into smaller chunks. You might have 60 seconds of that video and you might post that to your Facebook page. Or you might post that in another Facebook group if it's applicable. You know, if it's a little tip that you can give away, and there's Facebook groups out there that you know, allow you to post content and value add content, then that could be a great way to do that. And then generally what I'll do is, because I like doing reels on the weekend, is I'll create a reel as a teaser for that live content. So it might be Yeah, and you can get so creative with Reels. There's so many opportunities to get creative with Reels. Danielle, Vimeo versus YouTube, great question. Video versus YouTube is, so I tend to use Vimeo for storing content that I'm going to put into online programs or that I'm going to keep sort of safe and stored. YouTube for everything else, because you're going to get so much more reach with YouTube than Vimeo, because YouTube is connected to Google. And so if people are searching, then YouTube's going to come up. Kim, you're lost. That's totally fine, Kim. I completely understand. This is so much content. And yes, we can talk in our private session. Adriana, when you make the reel, do you then point them to Facebook or the IGTV videos? Great question. I generally point them within the same platform. So if I'm doing a reel, I'll say, hey, watch the IGTV video. Because with reels will get a further reach to a cold audience at the moment. You know, Instagram might change that tomorrow and we could be back to square one. But at the moment, reels are getting a higher reach to a colder audience. So if people are seeing your reels and you've got a call to action to go and, you know, get that content on your page in the IGTV, then you're more likely to get that cold audience across. And that's a link to IGTV. I don't think I've done that. Yeah, that's okay. There is so much here. There's so much to play with. But also, I think the one thing that I would take out of this is that you don't have to make it this complicated. You do not have to be posting on all these channels, but if you do have a presence on these channels, then you should be making the most of doing that one live video, rather than creating different content for every single space that you're showing up in. Is just, and you know, if you're not doing these things, that's okay. If you're just showing up once live in your Facebook group, that's great. I would still suggest that you repost it to Facebook though, or even just a small snippet, and talk about, hey, come and join the Facebook group where I teach even more of this kind of content, so that you're bringing people from, you know, that colder audience. And this is where we think about our customer journey, is knowing, well, okay, if they're a cold audience member right now, I want to get them into that warm audience. So in a Facebook group, they're a much warmer audience because they've said, yes, I want to be a part of your community. So let me know if you've got any questions. I know we're like right in the hour now. So if you do have any questions, pop them into the chat, because I know I have like seriously shared a lot of content today. So please let me know if you've got questions. I'm just going to quickly, because I know some people will have to leave shortly on the hour. So I just wanted to let you know that part 2 is happening next Wednesday, the 18th at 11 o'clock. So same time, same place. It's going to be run exactly the same. And I'm going to share with you 10 key elements to help you to improve those videos. So this class doesn't stop here. And these elements, I'm going to share with you everything that I look for when I'm giving feedback to clients. And for those 3 hot seat contestants, if you'd like to be a hot seat contestant, let me know and I'll send you a little application. And the code word is there, is called lively. See what I've done there? So send me that code word and say, I'd like an application to be a hot seat contestant. Thank you, Sarah. And you can come and join me and I'll coach you live based on the live video that you've done, which is the next part. Between now and next Wednesday, your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to show up at least once in the Facebook group, Speak with Confidence for Women in Business. If you're feeling, you know, really energized and excited right now, go and do it now. And share with us, you know, you can simply share with us what it is that you do, or you could say, hey, I'm going to practice this video that I want to share with my audience. This is my audience and this is the video idea that I've had. Okay, and that's how, yeah, so Priyanka, what I'll do is everybody that was on the Zoom call today, I know that you've stayed to the end. So what I'll do is I'm going to send out an email to everybody that was on the Zoom call, and I'm going to give you that application. So I'll make it easy for you. And this is mainly because I'm also broadcasting this live into the Facebook group. So there may be people watching that aren't in the Zoom room with us. So it's mainly for people that aren't in the Zoom room. Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Great. And now I'm going to come back to some questions. So if you do have any questions, please let me know and pop them in the chat. Okay. Danielle, I have videos on Vimeo. Can I copy to YouTube and set up an account? Yes, absolutely. If you have a Gmail account, you will probably already have a YouTube account. So that's very easy. Do I have to promote YouTube as well as I normally post video directly to platforms? What I would suggest is don't like repost a YouTube link onto Facebook, because it's much better to upload your videos or to record them live in Facebook or upload them organically. Facebook will prefer that over anything else. Nikki, software for breaking down the video into smaller chunks. Great question. So the software I use is on my Mac computer. I simply use what I have available. So if you have a Mac, you're in luck because that is inbuilt into your computer. So there's a program called QuickTime. And when you open, so what I do is I download the video, the live video from Facebook, and then I open that. It will open it up in a program called QuickTime, which is just on my Mac. And then I'll just trim the edges or edit down to the little part that I do. On your iPhone, I've also used a couple of different apps, and I'm just going to tell you the names specifically of the apps that I use. InShot is a really great app that you can edit and add text over the top as well. Kapwing or Kapwing, however you'd like to say it, is another great tool that you can add text to and change the size and edit down, that kind of thing. They're the main ones that I use personally. I also use iMovie a little bit as well, which is you can get the app on your phone, or if you've got a Mac, you've already got that on your Mac as well. They're the main ones that I use. Cool. Jan, love it. Fantastic. Felicity uses DaVinci Resolve. Okay, cool. So Felicity, do you have a PC?
Yeah. I think that works on both, but on the PC, the Photos app comes with the PC as well. It's a really simple one if you just want to.
Cool.
Yeah,
awesome. That's great, because like I don't have a PC, so I don't not au fait with all of the PC apps, but that's great. Okay.
Kelly, could you please just type in chat those apps that you use on your iPhone, please?
Yeah, sure.
Just so that I can see those names.
InShot,
like InShot,
iMovie, Kapwing. What was that app for captioning? Yeah, Kapwing or Kapwing. Android and Windows. Yeah, so Kim, as Felicity mentioned, those ones for the PC or Windows, I would go with those ones. For Android, does anybody else here have an Android phone? Because I'm not 100% sure on which. Actually, I believe InShot does work on Android. One of my other clients has an Android phone and uses InShot. InShot's easy. Yeah, it's great. Okay, any other questions that you? Okay, cool. Can people who are on Facebook see us in the Zoom room? Oh, thanks, Felicity, you've answered the question. Alrighty, awesome. More questions? Best place for royalty-free music? Good question. I often do meditation. So yeah, look, I will just Google royalty-free music. There is one particular place that I use called bensound.com. I really love the work that he does, and there, you can actually pay to download some of his music depending on what you're going to be using it for. Felicity, you have, yeah, go for it.
I was just typing, YouTube has a great free music library too, which I use a lot of.
Cool, awesome. Felicity, for Android, InShot, I would say. InShot, Kim, is a good app for Android. Juliet, I use Movie Editor. It's built in on Android. There you go, Movie Editor, fantastic. Sharon, hey, you're so welcome. feeling like you'd be awesome. Lots of research. Yeah, there's so much to be done now. Do I have any insights about resharing Reels links on Facebook pages? Ooh, that is a great question. I actually don't. I've never done it. Never shared a reel into a Facebook page. Oh no, I might have shared one, but I think it comes up a bit funny. Yeah. Actually, you know what I would do, this is what I actually have done, is I download the reel onto my phone and then I'll share that as just as a video, as opposed to like sharing the link. That's what I do. Really good question. Oh, you're so welcome, Joanne. See you soon. You're welcome, not a problem. I'm gonna stop sharing. So yeah, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to, and I'm gonna stop going live in the Facebook group and I'll see you next week. I'm going to hang around if you do want to have a chat, or if you got any questions, feel free. I've stopped live streaming on Facebook, so no one can see you. And I'm also going to share the recording with everybody as well, so that you'll have that content if you want to go back, because like I said, I know I shared a lot today, and if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is like crazy overwhelming, you'll have that recording to come back to when you feel like you can absorb more of it.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.
You're
Good.
welcome.
Thank
Free,
you.
thanks so much
See you
for
later.
coming. You're welcome.
I have a question, but it's a bit long-winded. Can I just speak?
Yeah, go for it, Kylie.
So I've worked with this amazing person and they do like videos and they do something similar to you. Like they do the live and they break it down into all the things, but they've been very critical of the way I've done things. And I found that I've stopped doing it because it's not up to the scratch that they've said it should be.
Yeah.
And they watched quite a few of my stuff because we did do a lot of work together, but they did like my website and everything like that as well. Like they've just got like a mirror of things under them. And like, it's a bit like, how do I just get over that? Because it's like, well, you don't have your makeup and you haven't got your hair like this and you don't have the proper background and you're not wearing the clothes that they suggested. And it's just, it's all in the head. Like they've really sort of done a number in trying to help. They've sort of hindered instead.
Yeah, okay. That's that. Yeah, I love that you've shared that. What's your business again, Kylie? I can't remember.
It's just my name, Kylie Crawford, but it's all about holistic healing. So it's got like,
Yeah,
the main areas is
That's
a
fine.
Reiki practitioner, chakra specialist, and crystal specialist.
beautiful. Okay, so I would suggest for your ideal clients, I think that makeup and what you're wearing isn't a big thing. And I mean, look, there are going to be other people out there who will disagree with my opinion. But what I found is, and what I think the trend is that the more authentic that you can be, and the more you can show who you are, the more you're going to connect with your ideal clients. The more you're going to connect with the people that want to work with you, as opposed to the made up perfect version of you.
Yeah. And I have a lot of trouble like breaking it down. Like I'm very good with the big ideas and the goals, but to actually say, this is what the video is going to be about, and this is how I can put it onto Facebook and then change it to the YouTube and everything, like that just gets so complicated for me. Like I love to jump on and do lives. Like I'm very comfortable in front of the camera. It's just they've put all these self-doubts in my head and I've let them. But like the feedback I get from my stuff is always amazing. But it's like I'm very animated sometimes, and they're like, you don't do this with your hands, like, you know, try and be more still and look at the camera and don't be moving and don't do this. And it's just like, and I am not trained in NLP, but I know that negatives don't process. So when they say don't do this, this is what you end up doing because you've heard this is what you do. And it's like so counterintuitive in the way it's supposed to be.
Well, what I would suggest, Kylie, is to jump into our Facebook group and do a video. And you know, I'll give you some guidance. I'll just, you know, pop in some notes on what I'm noticing. And you know, truly, like I do think, like yes, you can not do the hand movements, not do all that. But you want to be using video, and you want to be using the tools that are going to get you the results. And if holding yourself in a straitjacket, and you're not going to be natural, and you're not going to attract the right audience. And this is what I find with video, is that the more perfect you try and be, the less you're actually attracting the right people.
And that was the other thing. They're like, you rehearse it in that, not enough that you're reading it off script, but enough that you're comfortable in what you're saying and you're not just on the fly. But on the fly is how I work, because that's where they really can see my authentic self, how it's very natural if I take that pause and have to think of a thought rather than just spew it all out at once.
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually how, generally I will have sort of a one page. Today I didn't even look at it. Sometimes I will not look at it. Sometimes I might think, oh, what was I going to say? Have I missed something? And I'll maybe look down at a note or two. But yeah, I don't tend to think that having some kind of idea of what you want to talk about and the message that you want to get across is important, and knowing, how you can share that in a way that is going to speak to your audience.
Yeah.
But also, I highly recommend not having a script. Not having a word for word, this is what I've got to say.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like the complete opposite and more in line of my energy and the way that I work. So
yeah, cool. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, because and I think it's also going to be different for different industries. If I'm talking to people that are in lawyers, for example, they probably need to project a different image than to somebody who's in your field. So it's going to be appropriate for them to have makeup on and be, maybe dressed up in a suit and tie, or, that kind of thing, because that is the image they need to be showing to attract their audience. But I think for your target market, it's going to be more beneficial for you to just be you.
I do have one more question. I'm very much service-based now compared to a product. So when I had a product, I could do little videos of my gemstone jewelry that was very healing and stuff, but now it's more service-based. I find that a lot more harder to articulate and sell, whether it's through video or written content or something, because I'm a very visual person, and it's not tangible. You can't hold it. I feel like it has less value, even though services have more value than a product, because you're giving them the insight and the information and everything, rather than here's a product, run off and use it. That's why I changed to a service base, because I had this jewelry and I was giving it to them, but I'm like, they don't have the education, they don't understand how powerful it is, how to use it, how to cleanse the crystals and things like that. And I just find that services are a lot harder for me to sell than I was when I had the jewelry side of the business.
Yeah, I think when it comes to video, you've got such an opportunity with service-based businesses, because you can share snippets of knowledge. It is really mapping out, though, what kind of pieces of content that you can share, so that you're not necessarily just giving everything away for free.
Yeah,
because there's that
I
balance
have a
again.
fear of giving away my golden nuggets for free. I want to be able to charge good money for what I know, because it's 7+ years worth of knowledge and things like that as well.
Yeah,
Kylie, you could sorry, Kylie, you could, what I would love would be to just hear about a different gemstone every day, or how you interpret one single card every day as a live.
Well, I actually do a
you
card
do
reading every day
so
in a
much
group. Yeah.
Yeah,
And in
that's
that group, I
fantastic.
was doing one crystal a week, and each day I'd give one specific point, with a different photo of the crystal, a different way to use it or cleanse it or something. But I found that was very time consuming, and I haven't been able to find a way to structure my content that it flows. Like, I'll do it on the day, and it might take me 2 hours to put it together to then post it, and then the next day 2 hours, rather than chunking it down and batching sort of a thing. But that's the thing. I have so much up here. I find it really hard, because I'm 7 years in my journey and everyone else is in year 1. So to go back and think what I found beneficial in year 1 is really, really hard. I feel like I've taken over this call, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And sometimes you forget about those simple things that are still going to be really helpful. What I would suggest is take some inspiration from the work that you do with clients. So when you are working with clients, just jot down one idea from each client call that you have or each client that you work with. What's one thing that I could share with my audience to show how that thing has helped that client? Because often that's what I'll do. You know, if I come off a client call, I'll just jump on a live video and say, hey, I've just come off a client call and this is one of the things I noticed and this is how it helped.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely do that. And that's kind of the content that will flow organically. Whereas when you're planning out your 30 days and, you know, you'll print that sheet off and write down your topic and those things, even if it's just one per week, start with one per week and just have one topic per week that's going to be like your high value topic.
Yep.
And also what I would say is, you know, sometimes giving away content, especially if you work one-on-one with people, sometimes giving away, you know, one piece of content that is really valuable is not necessarily a bad thing because, you know, I mean, like this class, for example, me sharing all of this content isn't necessarily going to mean people won't buy my program because they want to go deeper.
Yeah.
And they want that one-on-one support or they want that group support.
Yeah.
Because you can only get so far by yourself.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'd suggest. But yeah, definitely go do a live in the group, and you know we'd love to see you. Nira, did you have any questions at all?
No, you've been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, Kelly. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Not a problem at all. Hopefully we'll see you both next week. I don't know if Sarah's actually there or if she's she's just off in the background, but yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week and yeah, jump into the group and get involved.
If I can get an internet connection, you'll see me next week.
Oh yes, you're out in the bush. See you later. Thanks, Kylie.
Bye.
See you then. Bye bye.